Hi, my name is Instructor Johnson. I'm with the MediaTek Institute of Technology. Today, we are setting up for our session, and we're going to use shortcut keys to initiate the process as well as make it as fluent as possible. So let's get started. Sometimes when you come into a studio, the ProTools icon will not be on the dock. So the best way is to always start a session with going through the applications window. So first thing that you want to do is to initiate the application, which is Command-Shift-A. Once you initiate that command, you will come to the applications folder. You're going to hit the letter P as in Paul, and you're going to scroll down using the up and down, left and right arrows to go to Pro Tools. Once you highlight the Pro Tools icon, Command O as in Oscar will open and launch the application. So right now we're running Pro Tools HD, and welcome to the dashboard screen. On the dashboard screen, we will set our session parameters. To initiate and set our session parameters, we're going to initiate Command B as in boy to change our bit depth. We're going to choose 24. To change our file type, Pro Tools typically deals with two file types, which are waves and AIFF. If you are a Windows user and a Mac user, the best option is to go with Wave. If you only work with and solely operate on the Macintosh, then you can use AIFF. So because we're going to be dealing with both Mac and Windows, we're going to choose Wave. And so to toggle that is going to be Command F. To change our sample rate, you can initiate Command R, and we're going to choose 48K. We also want to interleave our files. So Command G allows you to interleave, and Command P is to prompt for location. So now we're going to name our session. And hit create. Now, since we had a prompt for location, it's going to ask us where do we want to save it. Choose your destination and save accordingly. Welcome to the edit window. The edit window has 5 components. The first component is the toolbar. This whole region is the toolbar. This is the timeline display. We have the tracks display, this large area, and then we have 2 side columns, a clips list and a tracks list. So to initiate and set up our session, I know that we have a band that's coming in. So we're going to create all of our sessions. So to create our tracks, to initiate that command, we're going to use Command-Shift-N. That brings up the new tracks dialog box. From here, we are going to use Command left and right to change our number of channels. And being that we're in HD, we can go mono, stereo, LCR, LCRS, quad, 5.0, 5.1, 6.0, 6.1, 7.0, 7.1, mono, back around. So all the way up to 7.1. So we're going to use 16 mono channels, and you're going to initiate Command up and down to change the type of tracks if you want. So we got audio, we got auxiliaries, master faders, VCA masters, MIDI track, instrument tracks, video tracks, back to audio. So we want 16 mono audio tracks. I'm going to do Command plus to add an additional row. I would like 1 stereo auxiliary, Command plus. I would like 1 mono auxiliary track, Command plus, 1 stereo, Command down to a master fader, and you can do Command minus to remove a row. So before my master fader, I actually would like to put a mix bus. So I'm going to take that off, do Command plus, do a stereo, aux for my mix bus, and then I'll put a stereo master fader for my master. Then I will hit create. Now I have all of my inputs. So the first thing that I want to do now is cascade. So I would like to cascade all of my inputs. Notice on the track name, they're highlighted. So what I want to do is to deselect, which option is a great modifier as a do to all function. So I'm going to initiate option and click on one of the nameplates. Now all of them is deselected. So now shift is a modifier that allows me to group select things. So I'm going to click the first one, audio 1, and I'm going to go down to audio 16 and hit shift and click. And that way I will have all of my audio tracks selected. From there, I can cascade my inputs. And actually, they're already cascaded, so we're good there. So I will cascade my outputs using Option, Command, and Shift because I want to cascade a selection. So Option, Command is a regular cascade, but Option, Command, Shift allows me to cascade a selection. And I'm going to start with the first one. That allows me to only cascade the selected audio tracks. Now input 1 and output 1. As you can tell, they're all cascaded. What I mean by cascading is assigning the inputs in numerical order. So if you notice, channel 1 output now is 1. Channel 2 output is channel 2. So we have input 1, output 1, input 2, output 2. That allows me to set up my channels properly, though I'm dealing with my mixer console. So now the next command that we're going to go through is naming our tracks in a fast and efficient way. So we're going to double click on the first audio track. And I know that will be the kick drum, so I'm going to name it kick. With a shortcut, initiate command down, it allows me to go to the next audio track. That's going to be snare. And I'm going to continue this process using command down to name all of the tracks. Once you've completed naming all of your tracks, you're going to hit OK. And at this point, we have all of our tracks named, labeled, of the audio tracks. Kick, snare, toms, overhead left, right, guitar, left, right keys, left, right percussion, 3 vocalists, and a hand drum. So this is our band setup for today. So then I'm going to use continue on and name my auxiliaries. The first one will be a click track. So once I have the click track, the second one will be my mix bus. Enter. So although I have my mix bus, I'm not going to use it at this time. This is for later on. So what I'm going to do is hide and make inactive. Also, I'm going to hide and active my master fader because we're going to use that for metering later on. All right. We have now set up our session parameters. We have named the tracks. We have cascaded. And now we're going to the different modes in the recording, input, solo, and muting the individual tracks using shortcuts. So let's take a look. Now I'm going to select all of my audio tracks using the modifier shift key. I'm going to click the first one, hold shift, select my last audio track. And now I can toggle my record, input, solo, and mute buttons using shortcut modifiers. Shift R for record. Shift I for input monitoring. Shift S for solo. And Shift M for muting. At any time, I can solo, input monitor, record, or mute individual tracks by selecting on the track. And this is done with my link, timeline, and edit selection button right here. So every time I click on a track, it highlights the track that I'm clicked on. And it allows me to record using Shift R, input monitor with Shift I, I can solo a selection. I can mute a selection. Whatever tracks that I have selected, I can toggle on and off my recording section. So now that we have our session set up, let's see what happened at our shoot Saturday.